So welcome. I'm going to do a card reading. I haven't done one in a while. But recently I felt drawn. So let's give a blessing, an offering to the space that was opened for protection and love. Right, so this is a general reading. I'm feeling guided to read this for whoever is ready to receive it, and I have a few packs of cards that I'll be using this evening. So even though the cards may appear very feminine, they can still be received by the masculine, and we all have the feminine and masculine energies that reside within us. So I'm just going to get a few packs out. I've got some past life packs as well I'll be bringing in. Past life pack. And so I look upon the guides, ancestors who work alongside me through unconditional love to bring this message to be received by the person or persons that this message is here to reach. So start with a goddess card. Oh, this card's Kali Fear wants to come out. And take a couple of African goddess cards alongside that to clarify what this fear may be relating to. And so we have Ozan, miracles and liberation. So I see this as in what is on the other side of the fear and awakening. Okay, so I do like to use quite a few cards. If you've had a reading with me, then you know. And so we're going to carry on, get some more cards out. And we have adaptability. Oh, we've got two cards here. And enthusiasm. So we're going to go with these on the side of miracles and liberation. This one wants to come. Harmony with liberation. Really positive cards coming out. And riches. So this is a generalized reading. As I go on, if it calls to you. Oh! Independence and detachment. We'll put that under the awakening. Is there any more of these? And one more. Miracles, empathy. And one more. Seduction. Right. Going to draw from this. I haven't left myself enough room. Instinct. Got the wolf there. And the moon. Is there any more cards? One for the other side, maybe? There we go. And pass. And passe. And I'm going to take a past life one for karmically any blockages. Oh, karmic relationships. And we have wisdom here as well. I've never actually read that one. So, right. So we're going to start with the Kali and start with this card of fear. And because the awakening came just under it, I'm guessing that any dark place that we might be in right now is our awakening. And I really think that this card tends to be around, even though the karmic relationship came out at the end, it tends to be around a couple. It tends to be around love. And we have masculine and feminine elements here within this awakening. I've never read this card like this before. But it's talking about the fears that we can go into through this. It's the fears that may arise, ready to be slaughtered. I really like Kali energy. It's very dark energy, people perceive it to be. But I really like Kali energy because she's very empathic with these dark shadow emotions. And she brings that warrior spirit in for us to see and feel and observe. And I went to do a reading earlier and I actually pulled out a different card, which was about the shadows. So I'm guessing different pack of cards. No, different card. So I'm guessing it's all quite related. And this is about going into these fears. We're always told, go into the fears. But it really is to feel, not to deny. To feel and to observe gives compassion and love and acceptance to all that we are. And it really is about acceptance. Acceptance of these emotions, knowing that they are born from these wounds that we carry. And it's allowing ourselves to nurture these wounds. Maybe they play out in reactions, but as we allow ourselves to nurture them, these wounds, they feel seen. These reactions, they become less. They become less fueled by the fire within us. And what can then happen is that that fire within us can manifest and work towards more creative, more juicy birthing of who we are. You can see here that her feet are immersed within the water, but most of the body is outside of it. And she's got this beautiful smile on her face. And she's surrounded by this blue. So it's all about self-expression. It's all about self. It's about who we are, our identity. And sometimes we can push what these fears arise away and deny. But a lot of what we've experienced in the past has created who we are now. And by pushing that away, we're truly not loving all parts of ourselves. So I think for me, these cards speak of moving towards acceptance of how life plays out, and maybe karmically through the relationships that we have. And through these relationships, it doesn't necessarily have to be a love relationship. It can be with every single person that we come across and meet. Every single person we come across and meet acts towards being our divine teachers. We are always the student and the teacher, and we can always learn from everyone we meet, who creates a reaction within us. To create a reaction within us teaches us about our wounds, teaches us more about ourselves, and that's what it's about. It's about learning about ourselves. A lot of things I'm saying at the moment is, we can be led on the path on trying to be better, but really, as this suggests, wisdom comes from knowing thyself. And from knowing thyself, those parts of us that are wounded lose their power. And so it really is about the wisdom, how we can see this unicorn here. It really is about the mystical, the unseen parts of ourselves that is still yet to be discovered through this awakening. So, right, let's put this back. And we're going to carry on the journey these cards are taking us on. And so on the other side of this becomes miracles. It becomes liberation. These two cards here. I always love pulling this card here. Behind is the mountains. It's everything that you've been through. Everything. And we're surrounded by the blue again. So self and identity expression. And you have the masculine sun rising. I don't feel like it's setting. I feel like it's rising behind these mountains. And it's learning to, I'm really in the presence of the masculine at the moment, being very prominent. And me honouring. And, you know, I've recently got a new, I call him the granddad. I'm going to show you him. So I get little bits like this to represent some symbolism. And this granddad was such a phallic image here of like the head of a penis there. But he's come in, and I'm really honouring at the moment that masculine energy within myself. And how through life I'm shown how nurturing this masculine energy can be. So this masculine energy really nurturing all that we've come from, all that we've endured. And here we are, we're up front, you know, it's all behind us, but still supported, still transmuted. And that masculine energy creating from all we've endured something bright, full of life, full of vitality. And so she stands there with her spear and her horn there, right there in the corner. Don't know if you can see. There he is. I would say that's the guide. That's the guide watching over us. We're never alone on this path to liberation. We are surrounded by energies that we have been birthed from, that we've been given life from. Whatever your beliefs may be, these energies are there you know, in existence. And generally, you know, we have such a collective consciousness that we can never be alone, because there's always someone enduring the same thing as us. And so we've got miracles here, and the cups are sort of running over. And if you attune this to tarot, it would be like the Ace of Cups, maybe, you know. I think I'm not of the mindset where I'm going to say, if you do this and this will manifest. But really, maybe these cards are here to say, you know, give yourself a break. You know, we're on this path, we're on this journey. We endure, we climb, we travel, we work through. We follow the flow of the water and where it takes us. But maybe we should look at the things necessarily aren't right or wrong or good or bad. But everything is there to teach us. And I really feel like the wisdom, and this is what the cards are trying to say. And I think when we have this mindset, it allows us to see the miracles in life. It allows us to be grounded within our space and see the divinity and purity that we are. So for some of you out there who this resonates with, I feel like these little cards are little advice tips, and they are speaking. I'm just going to put some creativity. And these cards are speaking about being adaptable. It's looking at what may have created these mountains these situations to endure in the past, and looking at, and this card, adaptability. The thing is, when we're not adaptable, we're just like this person here. We're pinned down in maybe our own ideologies, our own beliefs, but we can feel pinned down. And it stops us gaining all these gifts that are there for us, because we try to have control. We try to direct where we think everything should go. And miracles, when you've had wonderful things happen in your life, they've happened and you've looked back and thought, I never knew that would happen that way. And so miracles happen in the least unexpected ways we think they will happen. But generally here you've got the balance, I feel, underneath of the masculine and feminine. And it's, the message I'm receiving, it's really working on ourselves. It's really about achieving balance, rather than trying to be better or do better. It's listening to the body. And I feel like this card of enthusiasm, he's there flying in the stars. And we're met again with the fire. And this fire speaks to me of, our inner energy, our inner power. And the stars in the night sky always speak to me of the shadow. Well, not always, but today they speak to me of the shadow. So I feel like we're coming back to this Kali card here. And it's really saying about mastering the shadow self. I remember I did a meditation the other day, and I was like, why am I so comfortable in the dark? Everyone's so comfortable with the light. And when I say dark, I'm speaking about those energies, these shadow energies. I'm quite compassionate towards mine, but on the outset, we're sort of told to, it's always love and light. It's always spoke of like that. And they showed me that if I was to stand there, and they showed me as a dark shadow, and if I was to stand there out in the light, I would stand out. I'd stand out a lot. No. All right, let me go back. What it was is I said to myself, why am I so different? This is it. Why am I so different? Why do I feel so different? And they showed me as a dark shadow, and they showed me out in the light. And in the light, this dark shadow, as I moved around, really was very different. But as it morphed into the night time, I blended in. I blended in so lovely. And so, really, who we are and the fears that we have about how we're perceived, maybe how we're perceived about judgment, this is where this is going, is really how we can reclaim our inner worth, our inner power. Because we give our power so much, we give it away so much. And so I think the enthusiasm that's titled in this card really is about working towards loving ourselves and working towards our inner power. It's about putting that enthusiasm, which I've come across lately. I've been in some dark places lately, and I think if I put that much of my thought power into something positive, a truly, truly magical, powerful being, I could create so much. So it's that enthusiasm. It's that you have to navigate it towards your inner power, really towards acceptance and towards realizing that, yes, you may be different. Everything always means something, right? Do you not want to go there? Okay. Recently, as I said, I've been in a dark place. Maybe this is why this angel has fallen. I know it's fallen because I've knocked it over, and I did call out for help. And I'm going to pick this card up about independence. I'm going to talk about two sides of this card, how independence can be bad and how it can, I don't like to use the word bad, but how it can be self-negating and how it can actually empower us. And so I called upon the angels to help me, and it really is about calling on those higher energies when we're in time of distress. And when we call out, it allows us to tune in. And what we're doing is really, don't give your power away completely and think, oh, these higher energies are the only ones that can help me. But you, by surrendering and saying, I need some help, it actually allows for your own self-healing. And so we come to this card of independence. We can be overly independent, where we don't allow ourselves to surrender into being held, surrender into receiving love, surrender into softness. And also we can be on the opposite side, where we need to remember our strength, we need to remember our power. And when we get into these relationships or friendships with other people, we can lose sometimes ourselves. And in doing so, it's remembering that, remembering how sacred we are. So at the basis of all of this is instinct. It's the instinct we require. And we got the moon here, which always represents mystery. And I feel like the adaptability really comes in here in the miracles as well. You know, remembering that things don't happen the way we like to control them, but to really go with the flow, the mystery, and be adaptable and trust our instincts as we flow along this path. We can get very detached to our emotions, form a strong attachment, and you know, water for me always represents emotions. And I think this card is asking us to be more observant. We've got you can see it as an 11 or you can see it as a 2. But we got these numbers that come up again for anyone who's into numbers. And yeah, so it's really about, for finding ourselves in a bit of a bind, just observe our emotions. Take that time. And I'm going to say meditation, meditation, meditation always leads us back to just bring in a sense of calm and inner peace to ourselves. Seduction. When I first pulled this, I see it as self-love, what we was talking about. I see it as, you know, the meditation, we're going into self-care here, into nurturing. I think just because she's a lowly figure there, you know, that's what it's speaking to for me at this time. These cards always talk to me differently. But I think it always leads to whoever this speaks to, those, you know, inner, I'm going to say the riches is here, but I feel like it's inner riches, you know. You've got the pink that's there and the pink that flows within there, and this harmony that's created, and the masculine force at the top again, the sun, the same as it has been. Where's the card? Same as it has been within this card and within this card also. So that masculine force, supportive, there, holding space. bring in inner harmony if we just allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And this can speak of your inner masculine, or it can speak of the masculine that may be in your life. But if it's your inner masculine, yeah, it's just trusting and allowing. I'm going to say that any birds also, for me, this speaks, if you've been noticing a lot of birds around, it really is a symbol of harmony. Take note of everything that surrounds you. You know, animals are always giving us signs. So, for this card, I'm going to read. Let me have a look. So, Reggie Rust. There's always a little story with these, a little fable. So, the path is obstructed, reroute. Reggie Rust is a guardian angel. One day, two friends, Clem and Craig, are dismayed to discover Reggie blocking their path through the mountains. With no way to get around him, wondering why Reggie wanted to stop them and not daring to try to pass, they take another route. Reggie then moves on, having protected Clem and Craig from a landslide ahead that would have claimed their lives. So I think this is speaking of, you know, things don't go the way we plan. Don't be disheartened. You know, it usually is a case of your path is not meant to go that way. And, you know, whether this is a person, a job, or a move, or whatever this speaks to you, you know, rejection is protection is the words that always ring true. And so, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me through this reading, and I look forward to doing it again. Take care.